Oh, the kitty.
Georgie is live in the YouTube universe. All right, let's see. All right, we're good to go. Um, so what we got going on this week? Anything fun and exciting? I kind of already told you guys what I got going on. It's another week of trying to get more inventory, better inventory, fresher inventory, cooler inventory. It's hot, so that sucks. But I printed out more flyers at Staples, so I had to cut the little tabs at the bottom. That's the worst part of buying
Hmm.
the flyers. Deb's like, I'm not cutting these ones because she cut the last batch. So I sat here this morning for like 20 minutes cutting. And listen, I tried to do like 10 pages at a time, but they never line up right. So you cut
Nah,
the
you
first one.
can't.
Yeah, you can't, dude. I was sitting there 20 minutes of my life cutting the
Neither
little.
of you used like a paper cutter?
No, dude.
No, the answer to this question is no,
I
clearly.
got like
No, it's scissors.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, but a paper cutter.
Why would I have an industrial paper cutter sitting around this place?
Because you're a reseller.
Wow.
It all goes to Amazon. I mean, what are you
You can
cutting up?
order one from Amazon, you're right.
You cutting up love notes for your eBay buyers or what, dude? Like, me and Eric are out here with
Do you
our.
see all this individual SKUs back here?
I got like the Crayola, like there, you can't even cut yourself if you tried
The
scissors, right?
safety.
You're
Yeah,
right.
the
You
safety
would have less
scissors.
fingers if you had one. It's best you don't order one. Eric, on the other hand, you got no excuse.
So, and I got paid by Declutter today, so I used that money to buy more business cards through Vistaprint because Vistaprint does PayPal. So Declutter pays me to PayPal. PayPal goes right to Declutter, or no, wait, not to Declutter, to Vistaprint. I don't even see the money. It's just I resell and I don't see any of it.
Yeah.
But I needed more business cards, so I got that out of the way. I went to a library because libraries have community boards. Well, they don't allow you in this library to post like sales flyers or like anything that's related to like selling stuff. So, being the genius I am, there's a big telephone pole right out front of the entrance to the library. I tacked up some flyers right on the telephone pole. So, I mean, they probably ripped them down. Next time I drive by, I'll look, but I figured, hey, if I can't pin them up inside and there's a telephone pole right there, why not? What do I got to lose? I paid, 20 cents for the flyer uh, and the thumbtacks from. Although I will say this, getting a thumbtack into a telephone pole is not as easy as you would think.
I got a fun story. I'll probably save it for the podcast about flyers.
Flyers are good, I'm telling you. Old school stuff like shopping, like grocery stores and everything. Like I hang these things up everywhere. I just keep them in the car wherever I go. They get thrown up.
So, in my early
Yeah.
20s, I had a pretty good truck business from telephone poles, and I used to deliver furniture and stuff, kind of like Jameson, but I wasn't reselling. I was just the delivery guy. What I did is I took a stencil and then I spray painted it, and I literally bolted it all on telephone poles. And it lasted about 6 months. And I got a call from the city, and they told me unless you want to pay $200 a week per sign, you need to take them down. I was like, well, it was a good run.
I figure if the politicians can put their signs on people's lawns, then they won't mind my little flyers on a telephone pole here and there.
Yeah, you're not going to get in trouble, but I had bolted them on. They weren't going anywhere.
All right, we got over in the YouTube chat. Blank VHS tapes unopened are great. Yes, you can't ship those medium mail, so you're probably breaking the law, Brown, and I'm going to have to report you to the authorities. Hire a sign walker person for the street. Yeah, like the going out of business people.
Like flipping a book little thing.
Dude, it's funny. When I was a kid growing up in Philly, the local like pizza shops and fast food places,
Yeah.
they would pay the kids to go put the flyers in the mailboxes,
Yeah.
and you just they give them like 20 bucks. You just get a whole big bag full of flyers and you just walk the neighborhood and put them in the mailboxes. I thought about doing that too, but then again, like then my phone's ringing nonstop and people want to sell me their one CD for 15 cents, and I just walk by the house and throw a handful of change and then just take my CD and move on to the next place.
So I got a message from a lady in one of my Facebook ads. Apparently, I'd messaged her twice, and she's like, I can't. You don't do pickups, and I don't have a car, but I have the books if you want them. She's like an hour away. And it's like 3 books and 2 CDs.
Well, I mean, I thought about this too, like, because when you reach out, like I don't have a limit on the flyer, right? Like, oh, it's got to be at
Yeah.
least a box or 2 boxes. I think it's one of those things where you just kind of feel it out as you go. So then if you put on there like, oh, you got to have at least 2 boxes, like then you're probably just going to turn some people off right away.
Right, it's
Otherwise-
best not to have anything. I thought about Messenger, like, if you can get 100 or more, I'll make a special trip for you. Like, talk to your neighbors or something. Community drive to me to drive out there.
That's another thing I thought about doing. Renting a spot at a flea market and just having signs that you're buying books, CDs, DVDs.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how that would go. I think you probably would get a lot more success than we probably would think.
I mean, we talked about the reverse garage sale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same deal, I think.
Yeah, and if you're at the flea market where there's already people at, you probably would, you know. I mean, I would just stay there till the very end, and then you get the vendors that come around that want to get rid of this stuff and not take it back home.
Yeah, all the storage unit guys are like, here's my books, didn't sell.
Yeah, like, you don't even got to be there early. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't mind getting up early. Like, I get up earlier now than I ever have. Deb's up at, like, 6. Like, I'm up around, like, 7:15, between 7:15 and 7:45. Like, these people out at these flea markets at, like, 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm like, I'll look like the Walking Dead out there. I won't even be able to drive my car that early. But, I mean, to each their own, I guess. No FBM for me. Yeah, FBM sucks. The only reason we ever did FBM was because of restock limits, so I don't mess around with that. How do you appear on camera in the live stream, says TCAT. There's a link in the community tab on the YouTube channel. I already see you're a member, so you just click on that link. Just make sure you're fully clothed, please. We don't need no naked people running around on the YouTube universe. But yeah.
That's an option.
Oh, here he goes again with the light bulbs. I told you guys, if you were here last month, he's back with his light bulbs again. Sell light bulbs. Sell light bulbs. Mike E., member of the group, he sent me a screenshot. He's selling light bulbs now too. I'm like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm burnt out. How about that for a joke? I'm burnt out like a light bulb. I don't want to hear nothing about it.
I'm resisting making a joke right now. I just can't.
T-Cat says we hurt T-Cat's feelings. What, for asking you to be clothed on the video?
Maybe they're a nudist and you're defending them.
I haven't added that tier yet to the YouTube membership. Maybe in the future.
Mike,
what's up, Lucky Luke?
can I ask about a hypothetical scenario? How would you adjust your strategy if, say, shipping costs to send a box into Amazon FBA suddenly costed double what you're paying currently?
I'll give you the most simplest way to do it that's going to be close as possible. Look at your last, I don't know, 5 shipments since it's gone up. Calculate how many items and how much more it's cost to ship, and then just put that in your buy cost. So like if it's costing you an extra, $10 per box, and it's 10 items for the sake of math, it's an extra $1 per item. You just put that extra $1 into your buy cost. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. But you're going to need a sample size. It can't just be 1 or 2. I'd probably say 5 shipments where it's cost you more, and then I would do the math compared to previous, how many items, and then just put the extra. It's probably be like, I don't know, for you it's weird because it costs more to ship things up there, so it'll probably be like an extra 50 cents into your buy cost. So then you don't got to worry about it when you go to ship when you do your Amazon checkout and they're like, oh, it's going to cost $30. You already got it baked into your buy cost, so you know who cares what that is. That's why a lot of people get bent out of shape with the placement fees, but if you got it in your buy cost, who cares what it is down the road, because you already factored that in when you actually scan the stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Mike.
T-Cat's here, and she is not nude like we all were. Yeah. What's up, Troy? You're muted, but yeah, welcome to the...
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint. What a disappointment. I know Johnny was particularly miffed about it.
My innocent eyes, please no.
You have a real background, at least. So.
Again, you hurt my feelings.
I'm an angel.
What is wrong with an old woman going naked on the channel? Goodness.
I know.
It's just everybody
kidding.
going naked at once. It's just too much nakedness.
That's true. I could bring a naked cat. You know, they have those naked cats. They have no fur.
Yes, those high maintenance cats.
I don't like them.
You got to buy sweaters for and everything. That's too much for me.
Yeah.
Mike, would you like a naked Zoom call story, or would this be inappropriate for?
Luke,
I like how we're just going to live in left field for this entire call.
Yeah,
I'll leave it alone.
I'm not the one who brought it up. I'm not the one who said anything.
It's Mike's fault.
That was Mike's fault.
I should have known.
Mike did it.
When Luke's here.
Only on the YouTubes.
No, it's Luke. When Luke's here,
it's not about me.
Get so many more views.
Oh my God. So what's going on out there in the universe? Johnny's over $300 in sales today. I'm at $220 in sales today. I don't know. Johnny sells his stuff for $1. That's why he's got more sales than me. But everybody having decent sales. Things have been steady for me. I'm not seeing anything crazy.
I mean, I had one extraordinary day last week. That was about it.
I'm staying pretty consistent on my end. Now we finally crossed the 1,000 mark in inventory, so it's been pretty steady with sales. Pretty much on average $100 sales days, a couple $200 sales days in there. So as we keep on getting these bulk buys, just continue to scan, get what we can out, buy back company, and then sell the rest. You know.
So in my most recent YouTube video, I really never thought about it until I actually talked about it. How if we only have a 20% sell through per month, you have to 5x on, you know, basically your total buy cost. So if you're going to spend $100, you're going to buy 100 items, only 20 are going to sell. You got to make your $100 back on that 20 items in the first month if you want to get your money back out. So basically every dollar you got to make 5 on. So that's kind of eye-opening when you really start thinking about it. But it's tough when you first start out to get over the hump with Amazon. I think that's why a lot of people kind of, you know, go away. Does FBA boxes get checked in faster on the East Coast or West Coast? I think it is warehouse specific because Jersey sucks sometimes, but I have Hazleton up the road, and Hazleton, like, they get their stuff and it's like checked in within like the same day of them actually being delivered. I think it is a location-based game. I've gone to Baltimore. 1 year I got stuck sending to Baltimore, and it just sat for like 3 months. I sent Roz down to the warehouse in Baltimore because she's from down there, and they're just like, get out of here, lady. It really is, it's location based. I wish there was an answer, or like, you know, they keep metrics on like all these warehouses, right? Because they want to know how good their employees are doing, how fast they're getting things sent out. What if they kind of like put that out to their sellers? Like, hey, here's how our warehouses are performing. So like you kind of could know what to expect. I will say Q4 last year wasn't as bad as previous years with check-in times. So I don't know. It's it just, I don't know. East Coast investors placement are cheaper on the East Coast. I have no idea what that meant, but yeah, I think I should have priority because I paid placement fees before they made anybody pay any kind of placement fees. So I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just the golden child, but my stuff's been getting checked in super quick within the week. I send everything out on Monday. By the time I got my next shipment going out, my previous shipment's already in receiving.
Is that when you say checked in, but is it closed within a week?
No, then closed.
Because mine's getting split like 10 different places.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad to hear it's not just me.
The receiving thing, if there's one piece still being transferred in that box, it's going to stay in receiving. So it's funny, I had a one-on-one earlier and somebody asked that question, and I look back, I still have some in receiving from early May. So there's still one DVD or CD out there floating around somewhere, not checked in yet.
Yes.
But they still seem like they're kind of keeping up better with closing out shipments than they previously had. Like, they all used to just stay in receiving like it almost felt forever. Now I have a lot more that are actually saying that they're closed, but who knows? What else we got going on? Sold a blue and red light therapy device, 3-in-1, anti-aging treatment for $3.99, paid $25. Refund initiated, and then you'll be commenting that it's all a scam, reselling's a scam. I don't know. Like, it's kind of summer's here. People are clearing out their stuff. Get out to garage sales. Get out to yard sales, community sales. There's a lot going on around me. This is Tommy Boy's time of year. Like, he's kind of cooped up in the winter, and now he's got to go pedal to the metal, get as much as you possibly can, and just start filling up the inventory for Q4. I know it's early, right? We're in June, and I'm talking Q4, but the more you get in now, the more money you're going to make in Q4, especially board games. Like, Tommy Boy hoards the board games till Q4. I just cut mine loose, but I've been finding a lot of sealed board games lately for $2, $3. Like, I'll send them in. If they're not going to sell now, they'll sell around Christmas time. That's for sure. It's I don't know, Tommy Boy. What's your summer look like compared to your winter? I'm curious.
Oh, it's night and day. I mean, I've got so many church rummage sales right now, neighborhood sales. I don't do estate sales at all. I don't have time because they take up too much time. And you're right. I mean, I've got a stack of board games over here, but I don't want to send them in yet, just in case. I don't know what the future holds for all of us, and I don't want to have to pay extra for any storage. So I'm sitting on them, no big deal. They're $1, $2, like you say, and man, I've got a lot of them. Well, yeah, it's great time for me. Wintertime, then you got to resort back to estate sales. If you're lucky, you get one a day. There's no garage sales. There's no flea markets. There's, estate sales. That's it. So yeah, it's a great time. Great time.
I think it is crazy when we think about the opportunity Amazon gives us, where like if we decide to bust our butt 9 months of the year, and like 3 months Q4, you almost like when they forced our hands with restock limits. Like, my payout stayed the same for 3 months, and I didn't send in a single piece of inventory. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that is the power of Q4 and Amazon. You don't got to be out there, like, because Deb's business picks up Q4, so I have to cut back my hours. So I'll probably only thrift 1 day a week then. It's crazy the money we can make on Amazon. Book sets. I hate book sets, Josh. I don't know. Like, the problem with the book sets are the fees are higher, so the return fees are going to be higher. So if you send in a book set and someone returns it, you're going to get killed with fees, because now they have the return fees as well on Amazon. I do think there is money. I've sold them, but I'm talking like the little Scholastic type book sets that are in like almost a book sleeve that's no bigger than like 12 inches long, I guess I would say. Some people literally just have whole business models around book sets, encyclopedia sets, things like that. Even sets that take up 2 full Lowe's boxes, people will sell on Amazon. I don't know, not my cup of tea, and I don't know, not for me, unless it's already in the thrift store and it's already in the little book set, and I don't have to do anything crazy. It'll fit in a poly bag. I can put a piece of masking tape on it. But there is money in it. I mean, there's money in anything. You just got to have the processes for it. I think you can make a lot of money selling book sets as long as you understand, hey, here's what I got to do so that it stays in one piece, it gets to the customer in one piece, and understand there's going to be more overhead with returns.
And that's what I've been learning with bigger DVD sets, like with seasons, more than like 5 or 6 seasons, where it's like bulkier and it takes up more the size of the Lowe's box. So I actually learned how to shrink wrap the sets, put on the proper stickers. I took what you put on your sets and did that, so got that checked in, and that thing flew out of there like super fast. And I've also been learning how to, when I get sets like from bulk buys that's missing like 1 or 2 DVDs, to stock eBay for that 1 DVD I'm missing, try to get it as cheap as I can, and then send it into Amazon, and that's been doing well for me too.
What is this, Tommy Boy, you want me to check out in the chat here, a DVD?
Yeah, just run that number. I just sold that yesterday.
Beckett on film?
That's it.
Holy smokes.
$269.95.
How much you pay for it?
Oh, $1, $2. I don't pay more than that.
Unbelievable.
Well, blue.
Right on, buddy.
Unbelievable, this guy.
That's the highest. That's the highest one I've ever had. So if you ever, run that so you get a look at what the cover looks like. So if you ever see that, that's a good one.
That's amazing.
Well, we'll see. It might get returned after it's looked at one time, but right now it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Funboy says, "What taxes will Amazon FBA pay for you? Or do you still need a W-1099? Just trying to sell 9 collectible books for less than new." Deb answered, "Amazon pays the sales tax only for you, so you're going to have to pay the tax on the income that you actually make after fees and everything like that. But if you're doing this as a business, you should have write-offs to kind of counteract that. So you need a 1099 and your sales receipt. You're only going to get a 1099 if you do over 20K. So you got to do at least 20K on Amazon to get the 1099. If not, I still recommend reporting your income because you should have enough write-offs to offset it so you don't get jammed up with the IRS. But yeah, you get the 1099. It'll just give you how much you paid in overall fees, how much Amazon actually paid to your bank account. You add that in addition to your W-2 if you're working a normal job, and you pay your taxes, but you'll have write-offs to hopefully lower your tax burden.
I didn't make 20K and I got a 1099.
That's weird.
I didn't make anywhere near that. I think I had 6,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
What they said I got, and of course I got minus 6,000. But they reported to the IRS, so I had to do all that reconciliation, and I posted the reconciliation in your accounting area, and yeah.
I mean, either way, you should just report it. I mean, I'm not going to do 20K.
You have to. If you get a 1099, you have to report it. They'll come after you.
Roz, that's the correct way, but I mean, resellers aren't the brightest people on the planet. And taxes, resellers, I mean, we can't even make money reselling items we buy for $1. I'd rather yet pay taxes on our yearly sales. So I do agree, Roz. Like 1099, 100% is reported. But either way, like if all of a sudden you pop up and you're like, I made 100K this year reselling, well, they might ask you for the previous years, and then you're up the creek without a paddle. So I mean, just be smart about it. Report your income. I'll never make 20K on eBay in my reselling life, so I still report my eBay income. And I know a lot of eBay sellers. I mean, let's be real here, Johnny. I'm asking you a percentage question. How many eBay resellers that didn't get 1099 reported the income on their tax return? Give me a percentage between 1 and 100.
Out of all eBay sellers?
Yes, that didn't get 1099 but actually reported their income.
2%. Maybe.
There you go. 98% don't get that, and they think, hey, I'm free and clear. Sooner or later, you keep bringing on the bad juju. The bad juju is going to get you one way or another. I'm telling everywhere, and the tax man's the last person you want up in your business.
The extensions only go so far.
Well, and the IRS will pay you to rat out your friends. So just remember that.
That's good. That'll be my affiliate link to rat people out, rat resellers out to the IRS. Yeah, I don't know. Things are business as usual for me. I got more relationships as I've been posting over in the Discord. Still working on that. I still think honestly, I do seriously believe there is enough inventory for everybody to make money selling media on Amazon. Even if, Johnny moves to my city, like me and Johnny could still do the same numbers because there's always more to be done, right? Like, I'll be the first person to tell you, if I'm only doing this 20 hours a week, I got more hours to pump into the business, right? Like, if I did this 40 hours a week, what would that look like? So that's kind of, get your wheels spinning a little bit. I think there is an infinite amount of media out there. It's just getting it at the right price, not paying up for stuff, because at the end of the day, nobody else wants media. It's not like, people can't give this stuff away. I've tried to give it away. I've tried to give away duds for my library pickups, and nobody responds. I can put it everywhere.
I offer free books in my bookstore, and I have a full bookstore. I don't know what to tell you.
Nobody wants this stuff, so hold your ground, and cash is king in today's world, so take advantage of that. I mean, Eric's the first person to tell you, and I like his idea of just coming in and lowballing people and, give yourself some wiggle room, and if they still want to be greedy, they'll come back in a week or two because nobody else wants their books or their DVDs or their CDs, I promise you. And if there is, oh well, there's always going to be somebody else selling more.
Yeah, that lady without a car I was talking about, she'll bike down here eventually in a little basket with books.
Oh yeah, and Deb brought up a good point in the YouTube chat. Chris, he's not on the call today, and Joanne, she, when they both were in the same back rooms of the Goodwills, right? Like, and they both were making money selling media. So like, the same sources. I just feel like there's so. The mentality that we can't get out there and find $5, $6, $7, $8 profitable DVDs, CDs, and books, it's a lie. Like, nobody could seriously sit here and tell me that it doesn't exist. And no matter where you live, I mean, we even have, Bev on here. She's made leaps and bounds. She only gets out one day a week. Now she's going to pawn shops. They got thousands of DVDs. It's all right there. You just have to take the little step to discover it. Just a little email to discover it, a little conversation you have, a little flyer you put up, a little conversation. It's crazy to me how much of it's out there. And I'm surprised at how much is still around me. I went to a new antique mall last week, and the dude does flea markets, buys out DVDs and CDs. They're 3 for $5, middle of nowhere. And I wound up spending like $100, and I made God knows how much money off the place. I've never been there, but I probably have driven by that town 300 times, and I never even thought twice. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to look up antique malls around me. And there it was sitting there. And then in the review photos from like 3 years ago, there was a big wall of DVDs. Now the wall wasn't as big because the photo was 3 years old, but I was like, hey, let's go do it. Let's see what they got. And it paid out. So always be looking for new stuff. There's always so many holes in the wall that might not even pop up on Google. And just get out there. It's all out there for us to take. And with Amazon, all we're doing is labeling. I mean, the work really isn't that hard on Amazon compared to eBay. Everybody here that's ever sold on eBay knows, like, eBay is 1,000 times harder. So just get out there, buy the stuff, multiply your dollars into more dollars, and you just rinse and repeat. I think the problem is it's not exciting, right? I think I've lost the exciting appeal to it. I still use Reprice It. I still do the same trigger sets. Like, there's really no change to it. Like, what's fun and new about Mike's business? Nothing. It's like, Mike, there's a new software. Oh, like that. I'm like, cool story. Let me know how it is for you, right? Like, let me know how it works out. And I think that's what happens. You kind of lose the attention span of like, oh, there's something new going on. But maybe the new thing can be a different store. Maybe you try to make it a point to find one different store every single week to go to, because we all have, how many of us don't even go to pawn shops? Yeah, some pawn shops have 0 DVDs, but I got one that does 20 DVDs for $10, and they have an infinite supply of it. It's just a matter of actually getting out there and tracking it.
I was talking to a lady today. She's in the UK. She was having some trouble sourcing, and come to find out, she was only going to thrift stores. And I'm like, you have bookstores in your area? She's like, yeah. Have you been in them? No. You should go to them because they have books. I told her, you need to think about where you buy used goods and go to those places, like everywhere. Facebook, libraries, thrift stores, pawn shops, bookstores, used bookstores. I mean, the list is kind of endless where you can get used items.
The problem is, though, bookstore, you got to pay $5 a book, Johnny, and we can't afford more than 50.
I'll do 5 into 100 all day. I'll do that.
But that's a mentality that most resellers don't have. They're not willing to spend $20 to make $20.
You don't even have to spend. The only way you're going to spend 5 is if you go to the Goodwill. There are so many other places that the books are cheap. They're $1. There's $2. You're crazy to go to Goodwill. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't other than take my duds there.
Goodwill's the end of the line. Go up a notch. Yeah.
I don't know. There's people who find stuff at Goodwill. You ever follow
you
the
will
beer
find
team?
stuff at Goodwill, but there are more plentiful opportunities, I believe.
It's
You
all
know,
about
I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree on that because, I mean, there are people who have, depends on the area, who have good luck with the actual Goodwill store, not the bins.
So if I went to the Goodwill in Beverly Hills, I'd probably stay there all day, sure.
Yeah, if there isn't one in Beverly Hills.
I don't think there's a Goodwill in Beverly Hills.
No.
Compton, on the other hand.
But I'm just, and I do agree with you. I go to other thrift stores. I don't go to Goodwill in general. I go to other, small mom and pop kind of things.
Yeah.
You hold them accountable. That's how I look at it. I almost see them as like an employee. Like, my Goodwill suck, I'll still stop in once a month to make sure they still suck, right? I'm like, oh yeah, you still suck, right? Like, I just got to make sure you still suck, and I'll walk in and I'll take a picture of the empty Red Bull can they want to sell for $4.99, just for for the sake of doing it. But I still stop in there, and I do think it's a good point that you brought up. Like, they all don't suck, and sometimes things change, right? Like, some stores used to suck, and now they're great, and now a lot of them may suck, but you may come across one that is actually really good. I do think you have to at least hold them accountable to sucking or being good in some way, shape, or form. Sure, if they suck, we ain't going there every week, maybe once a month, and then we're working it into a route where we're going to hit profitable stores. But it is important to keep up with what's going on. And if you have conversations, these people will tell you anything. These people hate their jobs. They'll be like, yo, what's going on here? Why do you have no books now? Why do they all suck? They'll straight up tell you, oh yeah, we scan them all, or we don't get much donated anymore. Like, you can literally figure out every Goodwill store's business just by talking to an employee that works there. And I know we don't like talking to people, but you could literally be like, hey, what's going on? Why ain't you getting books? Why ain't you getting CDs? And they'll tell you, oh, we get them once a month. We get them once every 2 months. Oh, they're scanning them now at the warehouse. And then you can say, all right, well, I'll come back in a month, see if anything's changed. If not, business as usual. It's when you rely, when that's like your go-to, and like, oh, you need the Goodwill to come through. Like, if you need the Goodwill to come through for your reselling business in today's world, if it ain't going to get you today, it's going to get you tomorrow. And I know there's a lot of people that have very profitable business just from the Goodwill, just from the bins. There's people that literally only have one bin store, and their whole reselling business is based off one bin store. Like, I see it on YouTube all the time. There's this guy that sells clothes, Dixon's Pickens. He's a super cool guy, down to earth. I don't know him from anybody, but I got recommended his channel once. He just crushes it at the bins all day long, and that's great until it's not great. Then you kind of get jammed up, right? Like, the bins around me have closed down. If I was the guy that relied on that bin store only, then what am I doing? I'm under the underpass. I'm working for Johnny out in Texas.
I have an opening now, so yeah. Another fun fact about the bins, though, or any Goodwill or any type of chain like that or thrift store, it can be really great, and that could be due to great management, but they rotate managers all the time out of those places. So you get a crappy manager one time who doesn't care, may suck until they rotate him back out, so to juice their numbers, because they're all about numbers and quotas on these store locations.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Golden State Picker does all of his Gaylords from the Goodwill, and he crushes it. I mean, he absolutely crushes it. Yeah, he'll be the first one to tell you he's in a little bit nicer area. He's out there in a nicer part of California, so the quality's better. But I mean, there's people in this group that literally buy Gaylords from Goodwill. Whatever they don't take, they take it right to half-price books, and it's a never-ending cycle of it's like an infinite money hack, basically. So, I mean, you can make money off any thrift store. It's when you only rely on that. That's when you kind of get into a pickle.
It's like what you told us in the beginning, to always track our sources, like see, okay, I got X amount from this one, X amount from that one, and keep on going until the numbers really don't make sense, and then you can revisit that or add that onto your schedule like a monthly thing. Because I mean, I still go to Goodwills, I still go to Salvation Army if I'm still there, if I'm like in the area, and I just track it. Okay, I went to this Goodwill, I got X amount of inventory. We'll go on to the next week, maybe go again or another day and see if it's the same way. If it's not, okay, find the pattern and can, like you said, continue to ask questions and stuff,
Goodwill does not scan board games. They said over on YouTube, yeah, I buy board games all the time from Goodwill. I probably could say I find more board games than I do books from the Goodwill around me, at least, because now they scan everything. And yeah, there's so many different ways to make money. And Goodwill, yeah, they look up a lot of their stuff, but I'm sure if we decided to sell lamps or something, like, stuff would get through either way. Like, there's always going to be things that get through. It's not like they're catching every single thing. They just have somebody that just scans the stuff, right? What about all the items that don't have a scannable barcode? They're not manually looking those up. So, I mean, right there is profit alone. Like, I got my little Halloween trade paperback from a Goodwill for $2.99, right? Like, that's a $250 book. I got my Clue trade paperback from Goodwill. So, understanding what the stores are doing just gives you a benefit, right? Like, Goodwill, to trade paperbacks, them barcodes aren't going to pull up the right stuff. So the trade paperbacks at Goodwill are basically fresh inventory because nobody's looking that up the way it should be. So, hey, I know, I go into Goodwill, all right, I'm going to look at every single trade paperback and see if there's any that jump out that are movie tie-ins that are actually worth the money. And yeah, I got Rocky from the Goodwill. Rocky 4, not that long from the Goodwill. And that thing's like a $40 trade paperback. I kept it for myself because I can't sell Rocky as somebody that was born and raised in Philadelphia. But yeah, I mean, there's opportunities everywhere, and there's no harm in having a conversation to find out if the thrift stores are scanning, what's going on, why they're not getting new inventory. They'll probably just think you're some crazy person, but who cares? We are kind of crazy. I mean, we sell used junk online and make a living from it. So, I mean, we are some level of crazy here, I guess, at the end of the day.
Some of my best bulk buys came from reaching out, wanting to buy X item, and then them presenting me with all the other items we buy. I go initially to buy 300 CDs. They're like, hey, I have 200 to 300 DVDs and cassettes. Do you want them?
Yeah, I remember I bought one DVD collection off the guy. He had everything in alphabetical order. And then he had all those old school tech deck bikes that I bought off him, and I sold them all on eBay like within like 2 months. He wanted $10 for like, I don't even know how many of those things were new sealed. He's like, I'm trying to get rid of all this stuff too in my garage. I was like, I guess I'll take a look. Since you're take a look, right? Like, you play it up like, oh man, I don't know, like, but just conversations. I mean, you got to be willing. The days of just being the quiet one, I think, are kind of worn out, and you got to actually have a conversation. And don't be scared to tell people what you do. Like, I don't care. People can say think whatever they want about me. At the end of the day, are you making money? You got some kind of business you enjoy doing? Is it better working than CBS? I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I mean, it is what it is. This is what I do for a living. This is how I support my family, my cats. So, I don't know. It's weird. People get weird about saying, like, you're a reseller, or, like, I don't know. To me, I don't care. You can I've been called worse in my life. I'll be called many, many worse things going forward. Hey, if I want to take today off, you got to go into work, sucker. Let me know how that goes for you, right? Like, there's a lot of benefits to this business that kind of get overlooked. We're not just ripping people off. Hughes Book Guys, microphone's a bit low. All right, let me see if I can fix that. It's already maxed out. I apologize. What else we got going on out there?
I had a question for the, how for the non-fulfillable inventory, like that 6-month thing where you generally liquidate, do you also do that the same for the fulfillable inventory as well, or the returned fulfillable inventory?
Let me look right now.
Because I switched it to liquidate, but there was some sets that came back through that I had returned to me that I caught before they were getting liquidated because they were still highly profitable. So
yeah, I got liquidate and then I got dispose. So Eric, nothing even ever makes its way back here to me. Once it's gone, it ain't coming back home one way or another. It's either going to the landfill or someone's buying it to put in their Amazon liquidation store and sell it for, X amount of dollars. Yes.
But Mike, you have for unfulfillable, you have return. That's what I do, unfulfillable return, because they're usually not broken.
Let me automated, unfulfillable. Liquidations. So usually all the unfulfillable winds up being liquidated, right? Because we sold it. So there is some sales history. So usually it winds up getting liquidated before it gets returned to me. But I do have it set to return. Just it never makes it there.
And mine gets back to me. I mean, so far it's all gotten back to me.
Yeah, I haven't gotten anything in months.
Yeah,
No, I've just had everything at liquidate, so I mean we don't even see anything unless I see like a return on a highly profitable DVD set or like CD set, then I'm just like, oh okay, gotta catch it before.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're dealing in low margin, you don't want to have it returned to you. You just rather liquidate it. If you're dealing in like, I don't know, $50 items, yeah, probably want to have that sent back. I did want to circle back to our dismissal of merchant fulfilled. I don't know if it's changed, but doesn't that help with your stat metrics as well when you get a sell-off merchant? Doesn't impact how much volume you have, but when you get a sale, it uploads the sell-through rate, so it helps with that metric slightly, right?
It does. I think the only benefit to merchant fulfill is if you're trying to get the buy box.
Well, yeah, but it does have some side benefit, like stat boosting, I guess.
You get your money faster too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think majority of people are not clicking through Amazon anymore to search for merchant fulfilled listings.
No, not really. And if they want to do that, they'll just hop on eBay. It's easier.
Yeah.
If they want it cheap.
After we did all that FBM and then I moved all my under 3 sales score stuff to FBA and it was selling, like the only way I ever go back is even if I wind up in a warehouse is if, you know, there's limits on how much inventory you can have in Amazon, because I mean you run the numbers all the time, how much you got in there, how much you pay. Like, you're almost a fool not to if you got the space. I mean, you're paying pennies, not even percentage of pennies on the dollar for them to store thousands and thousands of items.
Yeah, even with my longer term model here, I mean, I don't know, I was seeing the numbers earlier. I think it was like $800 to $900 in storage fee, but that's for almost 17,000 items. That's ridiculous. I'll do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, what's the trade-off, right? Like, you would have to basically have storage units, inventory system, expensive inventory management software. So, like, and you don't.
This place would be like a halfway full if they were all stored here.
Yeah, so like, you just save time on everything. I think people like the idea of FBM because you get to handle it, right? Some people are finicky about, well, Amazon ships my $100 book in just a poly mailer or a clear poly bag. I understand that argument, but my argument's always going to be, we just want to make money and do the least amount of work. That's kind of my motto, is like shady and scammy as that comes off. Like, I just want to work as little as I can and make as much as I can. I understand people love books. Plenty of people, probably the majority, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is, do we agree that the majority of people that sell books enjoy reading books and are like book aficionados?
Overall?
Yeah.
I am.
It's probably a healthy split, honestly.
Yeah, I would say a healthy split, because you have some people who are gung-ho and then others who just want to, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What side do you fall on, pal?
I just get it and I send it out.
See, a healthy split, because I like books too, so it's 3-2.
Oh no, Tommy Boy don't like books. He just likes money. Yeah.
It's 3-3, a healthy split. There it is.
3-3. Pando,
although I will tell you, since I switched over to the CD and DVD model, it is kind of hard to let go of some of the CDs and DVDs, especially if I find like a good franchise that I like. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to send it off, or even video games too. Shoot.
I do think it helps if you like what you're selling. You don't need it, I don't think, but it does help. Makes it more enjoyable-ish.
I can't believe y'all forgot about me. I love all the monies and all the books.
All right, we're back to 4-3.
Well, that's Josie.
Everybody.
Pando chimed in. It's 4-4.
Yeah, Pando, he just wants the money too.
Yeah.
Troy and I like books. Did you count us?
Yes.
I did.
Yes. Got to have time to read. Yeah, it's I'm currently reading Jaws. All right, so I'm only on like chapter 1. It's been like 3 months, but I do have a book I am actively reading, right? You know, like.
Well, that's good. That's
See?
something.
Yeah,
That's
see?
something.
I'm coming around here. You know, I got a really small niche I like to focus on, but I do think a lot of people get in their minds like the book's got to be super great condition. I want it to be the perfect thing when it gets to the customer. When in reality, I mean, just cut it loose. That's what I always tell everybody. Like, do the best you can. I mean, if you want to polybag every single thing, it might seem good today, but as you scale and as you have 300 books you're sending in every single week, like, you can't polybag everything. You'll go nuts.
I used to put those little stickers on the CDs to keep them
dude. I made a
closed.
video about it.
Yeah, it's Mike's fault.
No, wait. Because I tell everybody, don't follow what I do just because I do it. So I do not. That's Eric's stupid fault for listening to some crazy guy.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
But in my defense, I got like 2 different reviews that said a CD came obliterated, and then you had the stupid sticker on there that was really hard to peel off. So I was like, okay, that's it. Customers have spoken. No more stickers.
I just use what is it, Scotch tape on those cardboard CDs.
Oh yeah, I've done that too. Well, they haven't said anything about the Scotch tape, but it was the the little sticker things.
Yeah. I remember the video, and I remember doing it, and I hated doing it. Thanks, Mike.
Maybe I'll make a video doing the most dumbest things just to see how many of you suckers I can have doing these things.
Make sure to put an affiliate link so they can buy it and you can clear some money off of it. It'd be great. Be a real YouTuber.
Yeah.
They will buy all the stickers. They will have warehouses full of stickers.
All right. In my defense, like, that's when I first was getting heavy into CDs and DVDs, and I thought everyone was like my firstborn child, and I had to make sure it got there perfectly and got to the customer perfectly. And now I'm just like, whatever, just get it out of my house.
Oh, man.
It is natural though. Like, when you start reselling, like, you handle everything with such care. It's like, I can't get an extra ding on this item, and then like after a while you're just like throwing it out the door.
I'm still waiting for your peroxide and scrubbing a book video to come out. That'll be
everything good condition. Besides video games, you got to be very good to get the buy box. Other than that, cut it loose.
Don't forget
licking the CDs and DVDs.
You also start pricing everything you own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something great for yourself and go, nope, I got to get rid of this.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to have some enjoyment, right? Like, you got to have some enjoyment in life, Josie. You got to have something.
I do when I'm rolling in that money by Scrooge McDuck.
Dollar bills brings me all the enjoyment I could ever want, Mike.
No, you got to have some enjoyment in life, all right? Like, what am I going to... I'm going to leave all my money behind to the cats, right? Like, you know, like, you got to have some enjoyment in what we do here. And I'm not against people collecting books. My
enjoyment comes from hiking and traveling and visiting.
What is, like, give me something that you really want that also would resell for a lot of money. Like, would you keep it if it's a $200 profit item, but you really want it, like, for your personal collection?
I already sold it.
It's out the door.
It's on purse.
No, if it's Lego,
I'll fill it and get it cheaper somewhere else.
You can always get it back. That's a good point, Eric.
I don't know. Like, I think I'm on the board here with Troy, because, like, if I come across the Halloween 2 trade paperback, like, I'm not giving it up.
Yeah, you hold on to the stuff you really do care about.
If there is one thing that is worth a fortune and I wouldn't get rid of, it would be the Alice Liddell signed Alice in Wonderland. That was the special edition book club that was made for one book club in particular. She signed the copy. It's worth a fortune, and I would not get rid of it.
I would sell it.
Nope, not that one.
I wouldn't even think twice.
But what if it was a John Carpenter book signed by John Carpenter?
If it's not broken down to, like, my specific things that I like by John Carpenter, I'm selling it.
Well, let's say it is. Would you sell it at that point? Let's say it was whoever you like in John Carpenter land.
I'd keep it.
You keep it, yeah.
I mean, where I'm at now, it's different, right? Like, if old Mike, beginner reseller Mike, when he was dead broke and was trying to pay off debt, like, I probably would sell it. But now that I got a little bit of cushion in my life, like, I don't mind keeping the crappy Halloween trade paperbacks that are worth way too much money, even though I could get the PDF online for nothing.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't, I guess it's cool for me to find it out in the wild too, instead of like Eric's like, oh, I'm just gonna buy it. Dude, it's not as cool when you buy it online versus you find it out in the thrift store. Like I dug this book up with my own two hands.
Like finding a treasure map. You just can't buy a treasure map.
You can't buy that type of feeling, dude. Come on.
I mean, you'll get that same feeling when you get it back.
Dude, it's not the same. It's not. You need to.
Here's what you do, Mike. You put it up on eBay, and then you log into your other account and buy it for yourself.
There you go.
First time I found a paper book worth hundreds of dollars, it was better than my firstborn child and my husband and my divorce.
Those are a lot of life events there.
Where's Tatiana? She's usually on here working. She is. She just don't have her camera on. She's probably scanning CDs. Big Dre brings up Ed, Hustle and Grow. We had him on the podcast. Go check out his recent video. His house burnt down the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Everybody's safe, but yeah, it's a pretty crazy story. You know, it makes you kind of appreciate what you got.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How did that if I lost it? How did that happen? Do you know?
His house, I guess, was connected to another house, which was connected to an abandoned house. So somebody started the fire at the abandoned house, and it spread to the house next to him and then to his house. So he's good. He's got everything taken care of. If you watched the video, he's working with all the local, agencies that help people that kind of, have tragedies like that. It just makes you wonder, like, one day you got it all and the next day you could have nothing. So that's why I want everybody, take advantage of the opportunity of reselling and changing your life through reselling. I know it sounds cheesy and stupid and kind of like a broken record when I talk about it, but it's changed my life financially, and I don't work as hard, nowhere near as hard as I used to. So that's the main reason I do this. It's not like I make millions of dollars, even thousands of dollars off YouTube. So it's like, I only do this to help everybody out, make a few extra bucks, get yourself in a better situation financially, and then you can start making moves, enjoy life a little bit, and kind of, have the luxuries of everything around you instead of just being in that never-ending rat race. The wheel just keeps spinning and you just keep running. And it is, it's a lot of work. I'll tell you that much. Like, it's all about keeping up on all the taxes stuff, like keeping track of your own books. That's a lot of work that comes with it. A lot of people don't really think about the things outside of just sourcing that go into the business. eBay sellers, you got to take photos. Like, as Amazon sellers, we are so spoiled to have this opportunity. I still don't even know how it exists, that we can buy crappy, DVDs and sell them around the clock for the money we do. And all we got to do is put a label on it and throw it in a box. Like, no other opportunity with as little effort can you make as much money as there is selling on Amazon, especially media, because it doesn't take a lot of money to even get started with media on Amazon. It's crazy. I don't know. It blows my mind every time I really sit down and think about the money I make and the little bit of work I do within the actual business versus like CVS and just being 60 hours a week. My paycheck's $1,000 every 2 weeks, and I'm absolutely miserable around the clock. So maybe it's different for people that, I don't know, maybe never had like a crappy job or like a really crappy job experience. But for me, I just appreciate it, and I understand, like, hey, this is it. Like, we might as well get the money today because we don't know if it's going to be here in 2 years, 3 years. Amazon changes, whatever. So get it while we can. And yeah, if that means working 60 hours a week, so be it. Sometimes you got to suck it up as a business owner and just get the job done. eBay sucks, but like if I ever got canned on Amazon, guess what? I'm an eBay seller. Like, I'll just figure it out as I go. It's just take advantage of Amazon. I know people are scared of Amazon and you're going to get banned and there's so many risks. It's all talked up. The odds of getting banned are really slim to none, especially in the media world. There's always a chance, but it's not as bad as people make it out to seem. So I don't know. Eric, what's your thought on reselling? You've been doing this a few years. You want to be full-time. You're basically almost there. So like, what's your overall take been from where you started to where you're at today?
It's been truly crazy. Like, from when I started and being scared and like an analysis paralysis of the whole Amazon thing, into just diving in head first and just getting it out. and now almost at the point of going full time. It's kind of like surreal because it's like I've been wanting this for so long, and now that it's almost there, it's like crazy scary at the same time. Because even my wife, she's like, are you like positive? Are you 100% sure? And I'm like, I'm showing her the figures. I'm showing her the monthly figures. I'm saying it is possible. Like, look what we did this month. Look what we did last month. Look at where it could go, like projection wise. And she's like, okay, I support you. And I mean, as long as I have her in my corner, like supporting me, and I have, God willing, he continues to support me. I know that like by the end of this year, I want to be like, I'm going to be full time. I'm just going to claim it now. I'm going to be full time.
How close are you?
Relatively close. As long as I keep the same numbers and I keep on pushing what we're pushing monthly and a little bit more, I should be able to get there. I'm just trying to make sure I like mitigate the little bit of debt that I have. So most of the debt that I have, I've just been kind of smashing it and just putting whatever else I can on there. And then at the same time, just reinvesting the money that we're getting from the Amazon payouts into more inventory to boost the numbers. Because now ever since we've hit the 1,000 mark, it's like really hard to stay at the 1,000 mark because stuff, it just keeps on consistently selling, which is awesome. I'm not complaining. It's just like, it's astonishing. So now it's just keep on pushing.
It's scary to make that jump. I remember, it's weird because Deb was telling me to quit CVS like long before I did, probably like a year. She's like, just resell. I'm like, I don't know, like reselling, it's kind of scammy. Like, I don't know if I want to do this like, is it even possible to do this full time? But she was just, oh yeah, look, you're making the same. I'm like, even when you got the proof smacking you upside the head, right? You're still like, should I do this? Like, is this even feasible? Right? Is this gonna work? You're worried about what happens if this happens or that happens. But I will say this, when you double down on yourself, you're not going to work no harder for anybody than yourself, right? If you ain't willing to put it out there for yourself and bust your butt, like, you might as well just get an office job and just steal time and sit at your desk all day and play Minesweeper.
What really changed it for me was the seeing the pandemic. I was very blessed and fortunate to be in a company that paid us through the pandemic. But I also equally had friends and family and also people that I followed in groups that lost everything. And these companies just going like this, like, you're gone. It's essentially, you're just a number. And out of that, a lot of people started their own thing and building it up. So just like I tell my wife, nothing is ever guaranteed. You can come in one day, just like I heard the other week, because I still work and I'm still doing 9 to 5. I just found out last week that 2 of my closest friends, just their positions got eliminated. So bye them. No warning, no nothing. Just, you're gone. You're no longer needed. So I'm telling her, it's like, we just have to have faith in God like we have been, and he's been blessing us, and just continue to push it, continue to put in the work, and God willing, we'll remain successful. Of course, there's going to be ups and downs. There's always ups and downs with 9 to 5s and with being your own boss. But as long as you just keep on doubling down, having faith, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's I mean, just think about any type of entrepreneurship. I know Sigil can relate. Sigil makes his own music. Like, being a musician in today's society, like, it's a grind. But it doesn't matter if he makes music and nobody listens to it. It's what the hell he enjoys doing. He's going to do it forever, right? It's just one of those things. And it's the same thing with reselling. If you put your effort into it and you don't have these crazy expectations of gold bars at the Goodwill and just, you're just going to make millions of dollars. If you're realistic with yourself and the numbers are the numbers, right? Like you're saying, Eric, like, you see, all right, well, this is where I need to be. Like, you can't deny that the facts are in front of you. And like you said, any day of the week they can come in and say, all right, Eric, we had enough of you, dude, you're done, right? And then you got nothing. So it's a double-edged sword to think about, and it's scary for a lot of people, especially when you start making more money than you wanted to make, and all of a sudden you have this extra money, and then you start second guessing yourself, and there's a lot to be said about it when it comes to being your own business owner, especially reselling. If you treat it like a business and understand everything, you'll be fine. But a lot of us just see it as, oh, we just resell, and it's just, hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, and we just kind of, do our own thing. But yeah, you'll be full time by the end of the year. The question is, wait, let me rephrase that. You will make your full time money by the end of the year. The question is, are you going to pull the trigger and quit the job to continue the reselling journey? That's the one that gets a lot of people. And it took a lot for me, dude. I'll tell you right now. I worked many shifts I hated, and one day I just broke and I said that was it. But I should have quit a long time before I did. So there ain't no shame in doing that either, and building even more of a safety net for yourself. So don't feel like you hit that mark and you got to go right away. You can kind of give yourself more cushion and continue to build your relationships. So when you do, quit the job, you're even more comfortable than you thought you were going to be.
Yeah, like I told my wife, I was just like, as long as we build up our savings and we have like our emergency fund, like 6 months to a year in advance of expenses, it's like I won't mind doing that. And it's just like, and it is true, when you turn the reselling and like start treating it as a business, like looking at the books, actually doing your books, it's crazy the numbers that I'm seeing, and it's like, wow. Now that I'm really starting to focus, and now that I'm really starting to treat it as a business, like getting out there, doing it every single day, the possibilities are endless, and the relationships you make, and it all builds on top of itself. And yes, like I'm still like in the, oh my gosh, like at the end of the year, going full time, then I have to worry about health insurance, all the other stuff that I haven't really thought about because it's always been covered under the employer. So
yep, no more 401k match, health insurance, all that goes out the window. So you can't neglect that either, because then you really if you're not doing the SEP IRA, you're not investing in your retirement, then you're just still kind of spinning your wheels, right? The whole reason you did this business was to get ahead of the curve. And if you just fall back into the same trap where it's almost a job and you're not gaining any traction, and it's different for everybody, right? If you're doing this full time, it's completely different than somebody that wants to make an extra $500,000 a month, right? That's completely different. And there's arguments to be made both ways. Not everybody's got to be a full-time reseller. I honestly hate the idea that we always have to be growing as resellers. You can't just find a happy medium and just continuously do that more efficient. It's like, if you're not growing and reselling, you're a loser. And I'm here to tell you that is the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. If you have a target and you want to make $1,000 and you're making that $1,000, as long as you're happy with it, who cares what Johnny thinks? Who cares what Mike thinks? You're happy with what you got. You don't always got to be growing this business, and reselling, it's all it's about. So that's what I say all the time. I got a storage unit. I thought I was the hottest shit since, I don't even know. And storage unit life ain't no life to lead. You're just like, I got a storage unit. I made it. Oh my God, I'm big time. And I'm in the storage unit today, and it's 120 degrees. And I'm like, yeah, whoever thought this was a good idea was an idiot.
I agree. I did that life for a year. It sucked.
Dude, but there's no better feeling than pulling up the storage unit door like Storage Wars for the first time, and you're like, damn, I'm the shit right now. Like, this is it.
When you sweep it out finally, Mike, when you finally get that warehouse of yours, it'll be the greatest feeling, I promise. You shut that door for the last time, see ya.
Oh my God. There's things like that in reselling where you think like you've made it, and it's not that at all. And always having to grow and always having to be like trying to do more. It's just so overrated in this. If you're comfortable with what you're doing and you can maintain the goals you have, your goals are all that matter. Who cares what anybody else thinks about it? There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm the first one to tell you, 20 hours a week. My sales are $10K a month. Could I do more? Sure. Am I reaching out maybe to get more relationships with bulk people? 100%. But do I feel like I need to do this? No, but I just figure if I can make a little bit of extra money since I'm trying to buy a house, right? I have different goals than everybody here. If I can have more money for a down payment, okay, so be it. I'll bust my butt a little bit more, but hey, I enjoy doing my 20-hour weeks and making the money I do, and it's different for everybody. There's so much based on what your goals are in life financially, and what your goals are for the business, and how much time you want to put in and what you want to get out of it. It's different for every single one of us. But storage unit life, it ain't cool. It ain't, I mean, I don't know. Like, at least Sigil's got an air-conditioned one. I mean, he at least can, I think he's even got a bathroom somewhere in his storage unit. So, I mean, not only have a bathroom, I got to drive to the gas station. So, I mean, it's storage unit life's way. It looks cool for YouTube, right? Like, oh, look, I made my storage unit. But that's as far as it goes, and that ain't even worth it. And they raise storage unit prices every single month. So then you got to move storage units every 8 months because you want to get back down to the initial rate.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, they did it like 4 times to me in 1 year. I was like, come on, guys. Haven't you been here a year?
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Somebody have the Jerry Springer final thought for the YouTube Live today. I am going to shut up, and somebody else can take us away with the Jerry Springer final thought. This is everybody's chance to be YouTube famous, and you're all just squandering it away.
I got it.
All right.
You can't make the money if you don't try. Get off your butt.
That's it? That was like 6 words. Jerry Springer goes for like a minute.
All right. Well, okay, if you don't think you can, you won't. If you believe you can, you will succeed.
Fair enough. Josie's got 2 final thoughts. Jerry Springer's. Johnny's got a grin on his face like, what the hell did he just listen to? It was good advice. It was just really compact. It was like you had to understand, the 10 words she said. It was great information. It was just she didn't want to have a whole monologue. She just wanted to get straight to the point, in and out of the final thought. We appreciate everybody hanging out over in the YouTube world as always. Everybody here, I will see you all sometime on the weekend. And yeah, it's okay to collect some of the stuff you sell, regardless, don't listen to Eric. Yeah, you can buy it, but it's not going to be as cool as if me and Troy find the stuff in the thrift store and keep it for ourselves, dude. You're never going to win that argument. Go Blue, Tommy Boy, Sigil, keep making music. Johnny, shave your face. Roz, go pet